And this isn't about a mud lot. This isn't about having a party at the house. This isn't about birthday parties or having church at somebody's house where they have 35, 40, 50, 100 people. This is about property rights, and this is all that this is about. It's not about a mud lot. My name is Tom Dunn, and I am a leaseholder, party of interest in a lawsuit regarding the zoning commission. If you read in the law, if you read the zoning ordinance, it says in there, an owner of land may voluntarily offer in writing, and the local unit of government may, doesn't say shall, approve certain use and development of land. Well, you have to be conditioned on that. Somebody has to ask for permission. No permission was asked. It's private property. There's no authority or jurisdiction on private property. (324.303) definition defined by MCL. I, section 301. Except as otherwise defined in this act, as used in this act, public domain means all lands owned by the state and lands deeded to the state under state law. Our property in no way can be classified as public domain. It is not owned by the state, county, or the township. The county nor the township have a public interest in land, nor do they have a contractual, monetary, or proprietary interest in private property, land rights. We have a Freedom of Information Act, which I'd be more than happy to give you, from the township, that states irrefutable evidence provided by the public elected officials, actors of the Township of Gladwin, that there is no monetary, proprietary, contractual interest or a hold on our property. There is a copy of the contract, the patent. It is irrefutable evidence that the township, county, and state are not listed as heirs and or assigns to the contract with the federal government signed by the President of the United States. Heirs and or assigns means if you sell something, you can assign it, or you're an heir, okay? There are no reservations on the patent signed by the President of the United States. In other words, it doesn't say that you can't have a graduation party, a birthday party, or hold church on your property. There are none of those. The Constitution of the United States, Article 1, Section 10. No law shall be passed impairing the obligation of contracts. We have a contract with the federal government. The patent, I have presented a copy of that original certified patent. This contract is signed by the President of the United States, granting all rights, privileges, immunities, and appurtenances whatsoever nature. And it states forever. This property is not the public interest or public domain. It's private property, folks.
In defense of this board, this isn't the commission that handles this, and we have very little knowledge of the mud bog. I did mention that I would dig into it, and we will, but we have very little knowledge of this whole thing, so.
Are you all familiar with the fact that there was a warrant issued, a search warrant issued for the property? Yes. Just one? Nobody else knew about it?
I don't know how this is pertinent to our planning commission. They don't have the authority to make laws. They can make recommendations to the board of commissioners, but I just don't understand how this is pertinent to our planning commission.
I guess as Mr. Carl said, this has been referred back to, we talked about this at the board meeting, and it's been referred back to you. So if they referred it back to you as the commission, then you should have some information on it. Is there anyone on the zoning board that is familiar with a land patent? Does anybody here know what a land patent is?
If I understand what you're saying, you don't feel that you come under the zoning act. No, answer my question. You don't need to read it to me.
Correct. That would be a correct.
If you don't feel that you come under our guidelines and our ordinance, I don't know what we're doing sitting here listening to you.
Well, you have a case that's sitting right here, and I'd be more than happy to answer questions, but I have the floor, sir.
Is there a case against this board?
Pardon?
Is there a case against this board?
Certainly. right here.
I don't see it. We haven't been following.
You've never been made aware of that.
I understand that. Let me finish and then I'll address any questions.
What does this have
You
to do
can finish
with
it,
the
it's
legally
pertinent
passed
to what we're
zoning
here
ordinance?
for today.
Just a minute, I'm sorry.
What does all this have to do with a legally adopted zoning ordinance?
It shows where the public domain is. It's an educational process such that you can understand what the founding fathers of our country had in mind, where the state has jurisdiction, where the county or the townships have jurisdiction, and where they don't have jurisdiction. Am I saying that zoning ordinances are bad? No, I'm not. I think they do absolutely have a place. They have a place where they belong.
They're
But
either
when they're
legal for
unjustified-
all people, or they're legal for nobody. But you can't pick and choose what you're gonna come under.
Well, sir, yes, you can, because the legislature enacted certain legislative laws that fall under the Administrative Procedures Act, which you do have and should have control over. Absolutely. Not saying that. So if I may continue. Now, if none of this makes the new members of the Zoning and Planning Commission think,
Do I have a motion to?
How is your land different than anybody else's land?
we show a patent on the property.
There are thousands of patents in Michigan.
Every piece of property is patented.
Yes.
One has to.
None of it applies to the zoning ordinance.
Yes, it does.
And how is yours different than that of somebody else's?
That's an issue that
That's
that
the issue.
you have taken to court against the
Okay,
millers.
Madam Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to terminate this until such time that we are presented with proper paperwork.
We have a motion on the floor, do you have a second?
I'll support that.
Ms. Ford, a second. Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed say no.
I don't think we should, and against that, I'd like to hear from the others that have come here with the same purpose.
How about a time limit, possibly?
Yes.
Yeah, but can you summation what you're doing and, you know, your point of view and all your written material?
Yes, I thank you very much, ma'am. Yes, I thank you. I only had a few other things to go through. The zoning ordinance, as you have outlined, you do have authority where you have authority. You have to know where that authority is to exercise that authority. What was returned and discussed at the County Board of Commissioners was the lawsuit and a memorandum. And I believe, if I'm not wrong, Mr. Carl, that it was to come down here and this board was to make a recommendation to the county board whether to continue.
To review and recommend.
Okay, to review and recommend.
As we've seen it today.
Okay. There is a memorandum of understanding that was, and I don't know, did you get a copy of the memorandum of understanding that was sent?
Yeah,
You all have that memorandum?
you should have, Mike.
I didn't get it, like, man, I haven't had time.
Yeah, we did a lot of
Oh, okay,
that.
all right. And-
Just walked through the door.
I can certainly understand that. There's a lot of stuff here. To take a copy of the summons and complaint, read it, read the wherefore that the county attorney is asking, and in your own mind, figure out how that affects every property right, every parcel of property in this county. If you folks have taken an oath to office to be here, you have to uphold the Constitution, you have to uphold the property rights. You have to uphold and really review and think about what's happening to property rights. Zoning, actually, folks, is the death to our property rights. just amazing to me that when the commissions have authority to start litigation, spend money that the county doesn't have on frivolous, meritless litigation, and it can be proven, and it has been proven. The court cases that are involved in private property rights are substantial. There's thousands of them. And I think you really need to look into it. Thank you so much.